Jean Silva missed weight by 1 pound on his first attempt today and had words for Bryce Mitchell on the scale.
It looks like he's a little over.
Where's Fabiano when we need him?
147.
A pound over.
147 for Jean Silva. That
Who's
is
he
1
yelling
pound
at?
over
What do you think he's
the
saying?
non-title
He's saying
weight.
the
Is he yelling at his nutritionist?
I just made that up.
Yo, that's crazy. He looks so confident on the scale.
But he doesn't seem like that depleted.
Now
though.
he put his
Oh, he's
tights
mad.
on. Why is he so?
He is really pissed off. Where is Fabiano? Bryce Mitchell something.
Silva reportedly said, "It's not over. I'm going to come back and make weight. Bryce Mitchell, I'm going to knock you out." Silva then made weight on his second attempt.
Shit.
146.
Oh, he made it. He made it.
All right.
So they must have put the weight at 145 to start. That's why it kicked up. You see the guys that fight for the belts? They weigh in right away. I mean, look at him.
Bryce Mitchell made weight on his first attempt, and the fight is official. Bryce Mitchell believes Jean Silva is overconfident ahead of their fight tomorrow. The two had a heated face-off last night at the UFC 314 press conference. Bryce said, "I absolutely loved the press conference. I feel like the Holy Spirit was speaking through me. With my eyes, I conveyed the message that I'm ready to die, and I'm ready to kill. And I said everything that I needed to in that face-off with my eyes alone. He couldn't possibly make me react. There's absolutely nothing that a man can do to instill any fear into me. I have the Holy Spirit and the Lord, and fear is not an option. I'm fighting him with the full force of the Lord inside my heart, the true Lord. I see overconfidence. I see the younger man that I used to be." Ahead of his fight against Diego Lopez, Alexander Volkanovski responds to the narrative that he's only hungry to win because he's coming off back-to-back losses. Volk also responds to doubters who are saying he's old and done, and says he doesn't blame them for feeling that way. However, he's looking forward to proving them wrong.
The hunger's there, and a lot of people are going to go, it's coming down, oh, it's because you lost and you want to get their wins back. It's not, it's more than that. I can't explain it. Hopefully I'll get a better understanding of it, and I'll explain that more. But it isn't just because I'm coming off losses. That's not what the hunger is. It's so much more than that. It's a lot deeper than that. But I can't break that down right now. I can't tell you exactly how. There is, like, I love being in this position. I guess I used to care more about it, where I felt like I had to prove, had to prove it to everyone, and I guess I didn't like that I had to prove it, even though so I liked being in that situation, but didn't like the fact that I was the underdog. Where now I accept that, like, I don't think I'm the underdog, but there's a lot of people doubting me, right? And I am fine with that. I feel like I want to prove them wrong, so I'm in that same position where I want to prove them wrong, but I'm like, I'm not upset that they feel that way anyway. It's like, you have every right to think that. I'm coming off 2 losses. I'm older. You think I'm done. I'm like, yeah, you've got every right to think that. And you won't change your mind till I show you this weekend. And I don't know. It's like, I can't. I'm happy to show you. Like, it's I'm happy. I'm happy you're doubting me.
Ariel Helwani got extremely heated with the PFL owner Donn Davis. It started with this post. Ariel discusses the GFL canceling their first 2 events. He wrote, "It is possible the GFL could still have an event, but honestly that would be shocking to me at this point. To me, the GFL is a story that has come and gone. There's a greater story here, the state of the MMA business. PFL isn't paying as much as they once did. The Bellator #2 brand doesn't exist. One isn't paying nearly as much for MMA fighters. GFL was that hope. This type of promotion doesn't exist. And at the end of the day, that's not good for the fighters or the business."
There's a greater story here as well. Like, I think, could they get one? Maybe, but like, honestly, that would be shocking to me at this point. To me, it's a story that has come and gone, the GFL that is.
What would one
And there's the greater
accomplish?
story.
Are you saying one event or one investment?
He just wants to survive. Like, he just wants to, this is his reputation. Who knows if he can work in combat sports again. And this is a guy who has worked in combat sports for many, many years, had World Series of Fighting Canada and had a Canadian promotion and all this stuff. The bigger question is the state of the MMA business. We know what the MMA business is. It's the UFC. They are the top dog. But the MMA business has always had a 2, 3, 4, and 5. That does not exist. PFL isn't paying as much as they once did. The Bellator #2 brand doesn't exist. One isn't paying nearly as much for MMA fighters. GFL was that hope. It doesn't exist. And that's not good for the business.
Donn Davis fired back saying this kind of misreporting hurts MMA fighters and the MMA industry. Ariel Helwani is wrong about PFL fighter compensation. PFL average fighter pay up. PFL fighter roster payroll up. His clickbait is disservice to fighters and fans, as well as PFL, who serves both. Ariel fired back saying you're in the midst of one of the worst PR runs in the history of combat sports. I can't open this app without seeing one of your top stars complain about the state of your company. I'm the least of your problems, but I take issue with you claiming my information is incorrect. Are you paying the same to the tournament winners? No, not even close. Did you ask Bellator fighters to rework contracts? Yes. Did you cancel events last year? Yes. Are you holding events at Universal Studios, circa WCW in 1994? Look it up. I know you're new to this, thus generating little no gate revenue. Yes. In fact, it continues to baffle me how few tickets you're able to sell in America after all these years. I've asked you to come on my show, 5-6 times now, to talk about some of these things with your upcoming fights, and you continue to refuse. Why is that, Donn? The only one who has been a disservice to this sport are the Johnny-come-lately promoters who think they can ride this MMA wave by convincing investors to gamify the fight game. Season, standing, playoffs. Nonsense. You know everything I said was true. Continue writing posts on LinkedIn to your current or potential investors. Surely, continue talking about Fight Matrix. I'll continue to tell the truth. Michael Chandler believes he will be too much for Paddy Pimblett. He says he wants to prove that he still belongs at the top of the lightweight division. Whether the fight ends with a finish or a dominant technical showcase, Chandler promises his performance will be something spectacular.
I just think my skill set is just too much. I think my pressure is too much. My cardio, the champion mentality that I have had since I was 14 years old, I think is just too much. Not that he doesn't have a bright future, not that he hasn't earned it to a certain degree, but he hasn't earned a win on Saturday night compared to me. He's decent. I mean, I think he's not he's not ranked or have the strength of schedule like the guys I have fought. But I've been saying it a couple times now. Like, it's like the absence of a strong schedule is not the presence of weakness. You know, there's not the presence of cowardice. It's not like he hasn't wanted to fight one of the top guys. He had to build himself and get into this position. And now he is in this position where either he sinks or swims. This is his opportunity to prove himself, and this is my opportunity to prove myself and prove myself to the MMA fan base, the UFC fans out there, that I'm still one of the forces to be reckoned with in the top of the lightweight division. I think the way that I beat Paddy and the way that I think I'm going to, whether it's a just surgical and systematic breaking down of another human, or it's an absolute domination, quick, fast knockout, it's going to be something spectacular. And I think it's going to continue to prove that there's levels to this game. There's going to continue to prove that just because we're all in the UFC doesn't mean we're not all on the same level. And that's nothing against him. I just believe in the calling on my life. And I think when I do what I'm going to do on Saturday night, people are going to continue to talk about me being one of the best lightweights in the world, and we got a crazy division with a bunch of movement happening, so we'll see what happens this summer.
Despite the recent news of the GFL canceling their first 2 events, Tony Ferguson appears to still be determined to fight Dillon Danis. Tony said, "I know changed suddenly, but that doesn't mean I stopped working towards Mythica status, motherfucker. This fight/season will happen one way or another. There's no way that moose knuckle Dillon Danis is a better athlete than me. Let's dance, buddy. We will prove it once the new location is locked." Dillon Danis responded saying, "Tony called me a moose knuckle? Bro, you've been concussed so many times that you probably think that's a compliment. Better athlete? You can't even jog to the cage without tripping over your own career." Caio claims that Nassourdine Imavov has turned him down. On X he wrote, "This f***ing French guy said no to fight me. He is a f***ing p***." He continued, "If I was him, I would look in the mirror and feel shame for myself." At Imavov, "You are a f***ing p***. You know that, right? Imagine the conversation. UFC, hey, we want you to fight Caio for the #1 contender. French p***. Oh, I don't want to fight him. He's too good. UFC, if you don't fight, he is next in line. French p***. Okay, I won't fight." Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett have both responded to Conor McGregor. Yesterday, Conor posted footage of himself hitting pads on X. He wrote, "I am interested in the Chandler-Pimblett fight this weekend." Michael Chandler responded saying, "I'm sure he's watching. He watches and he is very interested in coming back. But can he put together a training camp? That's the real question. We don't know. All I know is you could see by my actions fighting Charles Oliveira in November, and now fighting 5 months later Paddy Pimblett, putting my ranking on the line. going out to brave the unknown. I'm going to stay active. The first 26 months in the organization, I weighed in 6 times, fought 5 times. Fight of the night, fight of the year, debut of the year, knockout of the year. All I do is put on great fights. I do it for you guys, and on Saturday night, we're going to do it again. I don't really care about what Conor tweets. If he comes back, we've got to finish The Ultimate Fighter 31, and he's going to be impressed by my performance on Saturday night. Paddy Pimblett responded saying, I seen it obviously. I got sent it by a good few people. I welcome that fight. That's where the money's at. But I can't look past Michael. I've got to fight Michael on Saturday night and get the win here. That's all that matters. Last year, Dominick Reyes snapped his 4-fight losing streak by defeating Dustin Jacoby via KO in the first round. He then went on to defeat Anthony Smith by TKO in the second round. Ahead of his fight against Nikita Krylov this weekend, Reyes says he plans to make a statement and move towards the top of the light heavyweight division once again.
The thing that excites me the most about all this is just being able to perform, going out into the arena and just feeling the energy. The energy of the arena and the crowd is what gets me going. And then being able to show off all the work I've been doing over the past, 6 months or however long it's been. I mean, the statement I need to make is just be me. I'm not back, I'm better. I'm here finishing fights, just showing my dominance and the level I'm at skill-wise, where I'm at physically. I mean, that's the statement I have to make, is just go out there and win the fight. This guy isn't a guy where I have to force anything. It's gonna be he shows up to fight, as do I. So it's gonna be a good fight. So even if it goes all 3 rounds, we could be looking at something like Forrest, Stephen Bonner's type of fight where we're just slobber knocking each other, But that's where I have to use my experience and be the better fighter and come out clean.
Jamahal Hill has spoken out for the first time since the news broke that his fight with Khalil Rountree is being postponed. He reveals he's dealing with lingering injuries and ultimately just needed more time to recover.
And haven't really been, been dealing with some things. As many of y'all know, my fight has been pushed back. It's not canceled. It's just postponed. Just a little bit of, it's gonna have to wait a little bit longer, a little bit of time period to get fully healthy and get back to where I need to be. I've been dealing with some issues, and I like to go into this fight 100% healthy and 100 or as close to it as possible. As you know, over the last year, I fought twice, and both times I've gone into both of my fights. Maybe not the best, not in the best place where I want to be as far as my health goes. The UFC 300 fight, I took that fight on short notice while I was actually on a trip out in Anaheim. I jumped into camp 7 months after Achilles surgery, fought 9 months after Achilles surgery, and just since then, and then the turnaround with what happened at UFC 300, the turnaround, and then right back into another camp, which led to overcompensation and more injuries. The tears in my knee, which caused me to pull out from the fight that I was in over the summer. And essentially, I was thinking that the body just needed rest, needed time, needed to heal.
The back and forth between Alex Bejeda and Magomed Ankalaev continues. Today, Alex posted this to his Instagram. He wrote, "Recharging my warrior spirit with the energy of my ancestors." Ankalaev responded to that clip saying, "I told you this is not going to work with me." Israel Adesanya and Kamaru Usman had a sparring session today at the Kill Cliff gym. Colby Covington had words for Alexander Volkanovski today. The two have had animosity towards each other for years now. Prior to when Colby fought Leon Edwards, Volk called him a piece of shit. Today in an interview with Main Event TV, Colby said, "I'm going to have to go with the emo haircut looking dude Lopez. I think he's younger, he's hungrier. I think that Volk's just coming back for a paycheck. I think the emo kid beats him. He was looking for the Islam Makhachev fight just to get paid. I think he's just cash grabbing. He's just looking to fight for money. He's not looking to fight for legacy anymore. He's already built his legacy in his mind, and now he just wants to get paid. He's got a lot of mouths to feed. He's got 3 daughters, and you could tell he wasn't happy about his last daughter. We'll see if he keeps trying to get a boy." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from 2Clip Trap. It says, "Chandler's a weird fella." The second one's from Corey. It says, "Chandler, stop smacking and chew with your mouth closed, homie. Damn." And the final one's from John O30197. It says, "Old but gold. McGregor wanting to fight everyone, but not wanting to fight anyone." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.